All right, we've been doing a series on the various organic entheogens or hallucinogenics. No discussion about the synthetics, and I don't want to dive into those. But when it comes to the organic, the final one that I want to talk about is one that's very special to me. It's called Acacia. Acacia is what I call ayahuasca adjacent, and what I mean by that is that it's very similar. It's also most well, it can be drank as a tea, like ayahuasca. It contains DMT, that's the active molecule. It requires an MAOI. It produces a journey that lasts, in the neighborhood of 6, maybe to 8 hours. The same sort of colors and visuals. Also quiets the default mode network, as we discussed previously. Purging produces a purge, the same as ayahuasca as well. A couple of the differences, again, it's lesser known. It comes from a tree, the acacia tree, which can be found on 6 of the 7 continents. There's less like environmental and indigenous conflict around it because we're not taking from an overburdened Amazon rainforest. The acacia tree, there's about 150 species of acacia tree, and roughly 75% of those are psychoactive. And so it's very plentiful. In fact, one of the places where it can be sourced, it's an invasive species, and so in some respects, you're doing the earth a favor. Most people who are maybe psychonauts who are in this space might be more familiar with acacia as something that is a source for obtaining the standalone DMT. In the previous video, we talked about standalone DMT, which is smoked and produces a shorter duration, like in the neighborhood of 15 to 30-minute dissociative journey. So some are more familiar with it in that context. Very few are familiar with it in the context of it being a tea, but it can be consumed in the form of a tea as well. And so again, I find that it's a really good alternative to ayahuasca because again, it doesn't contain sort of the environmental or indigenous conflict that ayahuasca can for some. And again, different than the standalone, where it's actually a tea as well. All right, again, thanks for following along. Like, comment, share, and comment. Thanks.